Hi, my name is Has. I'm an engineer from Ensemble Technology. I've been working on a project that is really interesting, and I want to show you why. Access control in the AI era. AI move fast, and sometimes a little bit too fast. A lot of things couldn't catch up yet, and access control is one of them. The way that we used to work is that the business side gonna ask programmer to write code, right? Run tests, deploy it, and turn back to the business side to see if this work. If it doesn't, this cycle can repeat again. And it takes long time. I'm not talking about days, talking about months, right? Now we have LLM. The business side doesn't need to do that anymore for the simple something like to get insight from their data. They can ask LLM straight away and it returns in seconds. But the challenge is what can we do with the existing security technique that we have? So we've been researching on how to secure the data in LLM application. LLM is very powerful technology, but it's not reliable. Here is the screenshot I captured from ChatGPT that imitate how the AI application work behind the scene, right? So we provide prompt to AI and get the result back, basically that. And here, based on the user permission, this user doesn't have, uh, permission to see salary and birth date. So I limit the schema that LM can see and ask LM to generate. Basically, this command can come from a user. They want to see all employee, but they want to see salary and birth date too, even though they're not allowed. The problem with LM is that LM never say no. LM gonna try to answer your question, even though they need to make things up. See, I didn't include salary and birth date, but the SQL that return from LM that it generate still have salary and birth date in there, and it's correct somehow because of the like a regular convention, naming convention that it accidentally collect with the field name. So the user can see everything that they want, which not supposed to be, right? For sure, you can fix this with prompt, but like there's million of combination of this. Um, you cannot test all of them, and when you change LM version, also you have to go over all of them again. So this approach not gonna work. And we switch to Postgres column privilege. So like promising idea, it's very simple. You can plan, all these fields that this role employee can see, right? And okay, LM return with this SQL. We execute it in database and it return permission denied, which is correct because this user not supposed to see a salary field, right? And also sometimes when user asks about all information, select star is really common, right? And again, because we use column privilege in Postgres, select star always return with permission denied. You're not allowed to. It's correct. And the way that application work with LM is that when it gets something like this, execute fail, we're gonna return a feedback to LM. This until we can fix the request and return a correct response back to user. So it's gonna go back and forth between application and LM. And you know what is the biggest bottleneck in application? Is LM itself because it takes some time. Even though it's fast for one query, but a series of them is really slow. So we move into Postgres, low-level security. Low-level security, or RLS, is another security feature provided by Postgres, and it's very powerful. To use that, you have to enable RLS on the table, create a policy, and grant access to the role, right? And this function created by me to check whether the user has people who report to them, right? So basically check up chain to make sure that this employee is in the chain of command, basically. One caveat is that you can see the security definer is that we can execute this function as an admin. Sound dangerous, right? But this to this workaround for this RS to work because because we select information from employee database, employee table, right? And without this definer inside the store function, we're gonna call employee, and that's gonna cause infinite loop. That's why we have to execute it as an admin because admin won't trigger RS. Make sure that you don't, you carefully craft your store function to make sure that the user cannot leverage the privilege escalation using this. These sound cool. These sound like it solves a lot of problem, right? But one problem that haven't been tackled yet is that, as you notice, this is store function. It take argument from here, and the problem is that it return Boolean. What does it mean? It means that it's just a filter of the row based on whatever result of this function return. And inside the function, you don't have access to column being project. So there's no way you can check whether, like in the real world scenario, like I'm a manager, I can see my employee who report to me, right? Their salary, of course, but I'm not supposed to see their SSN, something that very confidential, right? Using this won't work. It couldn't answer our question that we have. And that's the elimination of low-level security. Lack of column filtering. You can use it along with column privilege, but column privilege itself has a lot of limitation and it won't work well with application as I stated before. Without further ado, the thing that we've been working on is Vela access. I'm gonna show you the demo. All right, let's dive in. Click start, and now you need to log in with Google. We can add other provider as well in the future. On the left side is your workspace. Workspace is basically your connected data source. It can be, anywhere that you can want to connect to, or you can use our sample database here. I promise you, this service is one of the easiest service to get started. You need only 4 clicks. If you don't want to customize anything, now you want to connect to Postgres QL with a Node database. We're gonna leave it like that now. And you need to fill in name and description, but in this case we populate all for you. And if you want to get default roles and user, sample user for your test, you can check this box. You can leave it check. And here is the ER diagram of your database. So if you use your own database, you're gonna see your ER being plotted here. Click next. Now you have a chance to remove the sample role and user. You can go ahead and test it out. So once you click done, it's gonna appear here on the left side, Node-Win database. For any of you, if you're not familiar with this database, basically is a database for managing sales orders, like its own database that come with Microsoft Access, if you ever heard of that name. Yes, I feel like this database is pretty good for demonstrate the low-based access control. I create a sales manager, employees role, and sales representative and admin who can access any row and column in your database. So let's go to the query tool. Now you don't know the name and table, right? So you can toggle ER anytime to see all the properties and table name. Since we have like a user populate for this database, let's start with something is very basic. It is star expansion. So what is star expansion? So when you select star, like when you ask LLM to generate the query, sometimes you want to ask for all the information in that table it can generate like select star like this, or you can do manually in your code as well. The thing is, if you don't have permission to certain field, right, and you use Postgres column privilege, this whole query is gonna fail. But if you use Vela, this will pass. And actually, you can use Vela along with your Postgres security, because Vela can expand this select star into the column that you be able to access, and that could pass the Postgres as well. So let's go and click. Okay, we need to select user. We see. Let's go with admin first. Maybe it's, yeah, here you can see all the data in the database. Okay, let's change to cell representative and run query again. Yeah, you can see the feedback coming from Vela that it expand this select star, and also some field that this employee may not be able to see. It can be redacted from the result set. And let's see who we query as Nancy. Okay, you can see because employee can see all the employee basic information, right? And yeah, this Nancy, it's her own record. So when it's her own record, she can see the birth date, she can see her address, she can see her own salary. But when she want to look to other employee in a company, she only see the the field that she allowed to see. This is public field in the company. And let's move to someone who has more complex role like manager. Let's execute this query as Steven. Steven is a manager, and because we use the chain of command to check the role, his role is more complex than the regular employee or admin, right? Because now anybody who report to him, he would be able to see their salary. But some data like very personal one like address and birthday, he probably won't be able to see it. And let's see, line query. Okay, return back already. And because Steven, he's employee number 5, let's see the first person. This person doesn't report to Steven, so he can see Nancy record as any other regular employee. Let's report to 5. Let's find out who report to Steven. Okay, this Anne, Miss Anne, report to Steven, and Steven can see her salary, but not her birth date, right? And of course, Steven can see his own record, everything in his own record. This is how how powerful Vela, like star expansion along with the complex row and column level security. So if you want to integrate with Vela, there's multiple way. One way is you can like manage user use Vela to manage your own user. You can use your own user ID here, and you can provide a context, the user context, right? It could be employee ID, could be group, could be anything that you want to use inside your query, your like role query. I will show you one of them. You can see, like a overview of this row, what table and row that it can access. Click edit. This is how magic works. Basically, this allows this SQL query for RCLS because it can access both row and column, not like Postgres LLS, which is only give you row filter, right? So this is basically very simple one. Is just query with CTE, common table expression, to query the chain of command, right? So basically that, and any object or table that want to use that query as a chain of command, just check this RCLS and it will be enabled. And if you don't want to enable RCLS to all the field, you can select only specific fields there. I know there are a lot of details here. It would be better if you can try it out. And yes, we have a dropper API that can generate keys and copy and use it as a regular API. Less API here. You can test it with curl as well. And yes, if you're not familiar with SQL, yes, sure, you can use like natural language to run the query. Show me all employee along with their salary, right? And because I'm manager, it's gonna be exactly the same like we have been execute. It's gonna show you, the SQL that the LLM generate. Sometimes LLM it's hard to predict. Like, and show me all employee along with their salary. Sometimes it lists a specific field like this. Sometimes it use just select star. It depends on the mood. If you want to connect this service to your own database, but you don't want this service to access your actual data, but you want to test it out without having installing Postgres and dump all the data there, the easiest way is to use Neon. Neon is a really cool service that I want to recommend. You can test something easily. It's good for production as well. It's serverless PostgreSQL. In this case, I want to test it out with my sample database. It's going to give you connection string. What you have to do is just copy snippet, come back here, new workspace, and instead of like use our own demo data source, you just switch it. We encrypt on your database credentials and use KMS with key rotation to make sure that is very secure. And you can paste your Neon connection string here. Boom. It will pre-fill everything for you. So what you have to do is just click next, and we use LM to read your data. And it has only one table, and yeah, it also generates description and workspace name for you based on the structure of your data, right? But you can change it if you don't like the LM generate one. Just click next, and because we check generate sample row and user, now I'm going to generate a sample rows and user for you, and just click next, done, and that's it. You can do exactly the same thing, we previously show. This is your new schema. Yes, that's pretty much it. Right. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Yeah, I'm so excited about this product potential. Hopefully you see the same. Yes, there are still a lot of bugs and missing feature, but I want to get it out as fast as possible, and I would love to get your feedback. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.